Please be seated. On behalf of the faculty of the Division of the Humanities, I'm honored to welcome the family and friends of our graduates to the University of Chicago and to extend warm congratulations and commendations to you, the exceptional women and men who will now receive your diplomas. Your professors, families, and friends, those who have supported you through your studies, are all proud of your achievements and of the distinction you have now earned. We know that you will venture forth from Chicago to become leaders, innovators, and persons of merit and accomplishment throughout the world, and that you will bring to your communities the benefits of an enriched and critical mind. The value of the enriched and critical mind is the subject of much debate in and beyond the humanities. Especially at this time in our complex world, many question the practical utility of the humanistic enterprise, the study of human culture through history, literature, ancient and modern languages, philosophy, art, music, and are skeptical of the investment such an education requires. But the cost to society of not engaging in the renewal of human knowledge is too great to contemplate. Those who engage in research, teaching, and the renewal of knowledge, those who cultivate a deep level of self-examination and constancy of purpose, will contribute and help ensure a strong, self-governing nation. Robert Maynard Hutchins, the 5th president of the University of Chicago, wrote in the International Journal of Ethics in 1934, "A university should be a center of rational thought. Certainly, it is more than a storehouse of rapidly aging facts. It should be the stronghold of those who insist on the exercise of reason. Its object is always understanding. Rational thought is the only basis of education and research. It has been responsible for our scientific successes. Its absence has been responsible for our bewilderment. A university is the place of all places to grapple with those fundamental principles which rational thought seeks to establish," end quote. So too, Winston Churchill, at a Convocation address in 1943, said, "The empires of the future are the empires of the mind." We of the university community must not allow that future empire to be an impoverished one. The story behind the University of Chicago's motto is not one that many of us think about, and I'd like to take a minute to impart one more lesson to you. The motto, Crescat Scientia, Vita Excolator, is translated with a bit of grammatical license, "Let knowledge grow from more to more, and so be human life enriched." This motto is not a direct quote from a venerable Latin source, but was constructed, fabricated by Professor Paul Shorey, a classicist here at the University of Chicago, who was born in 1857 and died in 1934. For the first part of the motto, Shorey liked the resonance of a phrase in the meditation composed by Alfred Lord Tennyson as a requiem for his friend Arthur Henry Hallam, published in 1849 as In Memoriam AHH, a meditation on the search for hope after great loss. The poem includes some of the most often quoted lines in literature: "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all," or "Nature red in tooth and claw," and the following in the prologue: "We have but faith, we cannot know, for knowledge is of things we see, and yet we must trust it comes from thee, a beam in darkness, let it grow. Let knowledge grow from more to more, but more of reverence in us dwell than mind and soul accordingly well may make one music as before." Shorey translated Tennyson's "Let knowledge grow from more to more" into Latin as Crescat Scientia. He then took a passage from the 6th book of Virgil's Aeneid, in which Aeneas is watching those souls happy in the sweet fields of Elysium, among whom are those who are faithful poets, singers worthy of Apollo, and those who improved life with discoveries in art or science, and those who by merit caused others to remember them. For the second half of the motto, then, Shorey used the phrase, those who improved life, with appropriate grammatical adjustments. He then added the connector, and so, to link the two phrases, yielding, yet let knowledge grow from more to more, and so be human life enriched. There are several lessons to be taken from this story of the university's motto. Among them is one that I want to stress today, that as you depart these halls to assume the reins of leadership in academies, in business, government, and society, you will be called upon to propose solutions for global problems. You will be asked to respond swiftly and decisively in an ever-expanding and complex world. You'll be challenged to innovate and to evaluate. As you do so, your actions, your deeds, and your ethical positions will be informed by the values and lessons imparted by your communities and by your university. Change it, adapt it, translate it, connect it. Connect the various insights and make them something new, something your own, and something worthy. May every one of you use to your best advantage what you have learned. May you make a difference in the challenging world you inherit, and may your lives reflect honor back to your families, your communities, and to the University of Chicago. Congratulations. Each year, we honor members of the faculty who demonstrate exemplary teaching and mentoring throughout their careers, working closely with students at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. 8 members of our faculty are achieving emeritus status this year. They have left their singular imprints on generations of students with their scholarship, mentorship, and guidance. They have encouraged students to take intellectual risks and to achieve their highest ambitions. It is a pleasure for us to recognize and celebrate the contributions to the University of Chicago made by the following members of our faculty. Please hold your applause. Walter Farber, Elizabeth Helsinger, Michael Murrin, Jonathan Z. Smith, Matthew Stolper, Richard Stryer, Rebecca West, Aslihan Yaner. I now have the honor of conferring the Janelle M. Mueller Awards for Excellence in Pedagogy, named in honor of former Dean and Professor Emerita Janelle Mueller. This new award recognizes the contributions of lecturers and senior lecturers within the Division of the Humanities. Janelle will congratulate our 2 inaugural recipients. Presenting the honorees is Jason Merchant, Deputy Dean for Languages and Instruction and Professor in the Department of Linguistics.
Said Gharebani is a noted scholar of the Persian language and its literature who specializes in Persian poetry and who is himself an accomplished poet. His ability to teach language instruction and reading courses is an invaluable asset to the university. He is known for a kind and patient teaching practice that carefully guides students through esoteric material. His commitment to teaching Persian extends beyond the university, with the recent publication of 2 textbooks comprising grammars and workbooks for introductory and intermediate Persian. His success at improving pedagogical practice has earned Said the respect of both students and colleagues. Dean Roth, I have the honor to present Said Gharebani for the Janelle M. Mueller Award for Excellence in Pedagogy.
With insight and clarity of instruction, Said Gharebani creates the conditions for students to thrive as global citizens. Let's applaud again.
Scott Wolniak is a multidisciplinary artist whose work in drawing, painting, sculpture, and video has been exhibited in galleries and museums across the country, including the Museum of Contemporary Art and the Art Institute of Chicago. He brings that range of skills and experiences to the classroom. His courses, impressive in their breadth and scope, consistently encourage and challenge students. He actively participates in departmental critiques, providing insights to students at all levels. Scott's teaching empowers students to make critical choices and connect their work to its surrounding context. Dean Roth, I have the honor to present Scott Wolniak for the Janelle M. Mueller Award for Excellence in Pedagogy.
Incorporating his own artistic practice into teaching, Scott Wolniak inspires his students to grow and engage as artists in today's world. The university honors members of our community from across the many divisions and schools who dedicate themselves to teaching and mentoring excellence. Nominations are made by students, and the awardees are selected by a committee of previous recipients and other distinguished faculty members. Earlier today, the provost announced the names of all of this year's recipients, two of whom are members of the Division of the Humanities. Danielle Pratt, who today is receiving his doctorate in Slavic languages and literatures, was awarded the Wayne C. Booth Graduate Student Prize for Excellence in Teaching. Danielle Brudney, professor in the Department of Philosophy, will receive a Llewellyn John and Harriet Manchester Quantrell Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching at the college diploma ceremony now underway on the main quadrangle. I now have the honor to bestow here another university-wide teaching award, this one for excellence in graduate teaching and mentoring. Presenting this year's recipient is Christine Mehring, chair and professor in the Department of Art History.
Aidan Cumler's wide-ranging scholarship concerns the ways in which visual images and material objects shape religious truth and theological discourse. Yet far beyond her influential scholarship in the medieval period, she galvanizes the discipline of art history, for in her work, teaching and research are indistinguishable. The education of graduate students and loyalty to them are, for her, an ethical responsibility and a source of personal pride. Her teaching and advising are astute, wise, and empowering. She exemplifies how academia, at its very best, is not just about producing, but about exchanging knowledge, providing both a source of inspiration and a model of aspiration. Dean Roth, I have the honor to present Aidan Cumler for the Faculty Award for Excellence in Graduate Teaching and Mentoring.
Aidan Cumler's care, highest academic standards, scholarly integrity, and infectious enthusiasm model why and how the study of art and its history is vital, challenging, and rewarding. Thank you, Aidan. Each year, the university bestows honorary degrees upon scholars of eminence within a field and medals to practicing artists and community leaders of distinction. The nominations for these honors originate in the academic departments and are subject to rigorous review by faculty committees. This year, 3 of the honorees are sponsored by departments within the Division of the Humanities. Though the awards were formally presented this morning at the university-wide ceremony, I would like again to recognize the distinguished recipients of these honors here and ask them to please stand and be recognized. John Hunegard, professor of Middle Eastern Studies at the University of Texas at Austin and professor emeritus of Semitic philology at Harvard University, received an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters as nominated by the faculty of the Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Josephine Lee, Artistic Director and President of the Chicago Children's Choir, received the Jesse L. Rosenberger Medal as nominated by the faculty of the Department of Music. She's not here today, but we can applaud anyway. Barbara Partee, Distinguished University Professor Emerita of Linguistics and Philosophy at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, received an honorary doctorate of humane letters as nominated by the faculty of the Department of Linguistics. Thank you all. At the university-wide ceremony this morning, I asked our candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy to stand, and in the presence of the faculty of the university and members of the Board of Trustees, President Zimmer formally conferred those degrees in recognition of the academic achievements of our students. At this time, it is my honor to award the individual diplomas to each of our graduates.
Dean Roth, as Dean of Students for the Division of the Humanities, I now have the honor to present for their diplomas these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced studies in the humanities, culminating in the degree of Master of Arts. Sandra Camille Abdelmalak. Manan Valerie Lubin Mays Alexander. Carrie Ann Armbruster. Christian B. Torres. Elliot Joseph Berger. Stephanie Danelle Banarotta. Zach Brackenridge. Lucy A. Bryan. Devin J. Buckley. Yin Se. Vincent Christopher Caputo. Mudassir Iqbal Chowdhury. Joanna Kromick. Anya Rafaela Ciccone. Amaris Kuchansky. Andrew Davis. Jennifer Derhovenessian. Gabriel Carl Dietz. Fan Rong. Golris Farshi. Kelly A. Felsberg. John Hansen. Grace Margaret Hobbs. Jennifer M. Johnson. Timothy Ross Carr. Loretta Lamarjesi. Amar Tariq Lachetta Gamalildin Lachetta. Fang Lee. Carrie Ann Landquist. William Reed Loader. Hannah Marie Luchtenberg. Ling Ling Ma. Brandy Ray Madrid. Maria Bruce March. Catherine Ann Marotta. Laura Elizabeth Mart. Andrew Walter Massey. Michael Ryan Matthews. Ian Alexander McLean. Sabrina Medora. Noor Mirza. Stefan Rafael Montero. Karina Mora. Ellen Tess Mueller. Alexis Kathleen Nally. Emily Nicole Nortling. Gerlene O'Brien. Kayla Marie O'Donnell. Michael Kevin O'Malley. We're out of sync. Ariella Michelle Phillips. Robert McLaren Reardon. Jonathan Christopher Robinson. Rachel Esther Robinson. Edwin Earl Rowland. Nathan Rubenfeld. Nicholas Mueller-Say. Emily Shickley. Arman Siddiqui. Tom Vitus Silva. Joseph Andrew Singleton. Matthew Colin Stone. Evan William Stoner. Adriana Eva Sinter. Michael Corey Taylor. James Michael Tierney. Dana Marie Treglia. Eileen Truong. Hao Guangxi. Yevgenia Ulanova. Christopher John Vogt. Tiffany Rafaela Wade. John Christian Walsh. Yitong Wang. Brady Justin Washington. Corey Williams. Christian Pizarro Winting. Xiaoweng Yang. Nathan Robert Payne Young. Eric Anthony Zanotti. Xiying Jiang. Liu Jiu Jiang. What's going on? There's a pause here. We're not there yet.
Dean Roth, as chair of the Department of Visual Arts, I now have the honor to present for their diplomas these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the visual arts, culminating in the degree of Master of Fine Arts.
Deborah Dado. Jin Bronwen Lee. Ramyar Nuruzi Vala. Robert Tucker Ray Grant. Sophia Young Ree. Daniel Robert Volk.
The components of academic regalia derived from medieval clerical dress are the gown, the cap, and for those attaining the highest competencies, the hood. Today, those scholars who are being admitted to the community of doctors of philosophy will receive both a hood and their diploma for their disciplinary achievements. The velvet edge of the hood is dark blue, representing the broad fields of philosophy and humanistic studies. The lining is maroon, the color of the University of Chicago. In our ceremony today, the hood will be placed over the head of each candidate by his or her dissertation advisor or department chair, assisted by Jason Merchant, Deputy Dean for Languages and Instruction and professor in the Department of Linguistics.
Dean Roth, as Dean of Students for the Division of the Humanities, I now have the honor to present for their diplomas and hoods these students who have attained scholarly distinction and have prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research in the humanities, culminating in the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Vincent Joshua Adams, Department of Comparative Literature, dissertation, Skepticism and Impersonality. Committee, Robert van Holberg, Francois Smeltzer, Richard A. Stryer. Hooded by Francois Smeltzer. Kevin Michael Anzelin, Department of Romance Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Guardians of Discourse, Journalism and Literature in Porfirian Mexico, 1887-1912. Committee, Agnes Lugo Ortiz, Mario Santana, Mauricio Tenorio. Hooded by Agnes Lugo Ortiz. Irene Bowen Backus, Department of Art History. Dissertation, Asia Materialized. Perceptions of China in Renaissance Florence. Committee, Rebecca Zorak, Charles Cohen, Jennifer Purtle. Hooded by Rebecca Zorak. Samuel Lanham Boyd, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Contact and Context, Studies in Language Contact and Literary Strata in the Hebrew Bible. Committee, Dennis Pardee, Rebecca Hasselbach, Jeffrey Steckert, Lenore Grenoble. Hooded by Matthew Stolper. Garrett A. Davidson, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Carrying on the Tradition, an Intellectual and Social History of Post-Canonical Hadith Transmission. Committee, Ahmed El-Shamsi, Fred Donner, Jonathan Brown. Hooded by Fred Donner. Virginia Lee Amory, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, The House of Rejoicing, Malkata as the Festival Palace of Amenhotep III. Committee, Janet Johnson, W. Raymond Johnson, Peter Dorman, Nadine Mueller. Hooded by Jeanette Johnson. Humphrey H. Hardy II, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Diachronic Development in Biblical Hebrew Prepositions, a case study in grammaticalization. Committee, Dennis Pardee, Rebecca Hasselbach, Salikoka Mufweni. Hooded by Matthew Stolper. Mark Simon James Hopwood, Department of Philosophy. Dissertation, Love's Work, Eros and Moral Agency. Committee, Candice Vogler, Jonathan Lear, Daniel Brutney, Agnes Kellert, hooded by Candace Vogler. Carrie Elizabeth Hunt, Department of English Languages and Literature, dissertation, Reality of Facts. Committee, Elaine Hadley, Elizabeth Helsinger, Mark Miller, hooded by Elaine Hadley. Rachel Jans, Department of Art History, dissertation, Art on the Border, Gallery Renee Bloch and Cold War Berlin. Committee, Christine Mering, Reinhold Heller, Darby English, hooded by Christine Mering. Emily Claire Husino, Department of Classics, Classical Languages and Literatures, dissertation, Misleading Reports, False Resolutions, and Sophoclean Dramaturgy. Committee, Sarah Nutter, John Given, David Ray, hooded by Sarah Nutter. Sean Marie Keener, Department of Music, dissertation, The Justiniana Phenomenon and Venetian Cultural Memory, 1400 to 1600. Committee, Martha Feldman, Robert Kendrick, Elisa Weaver, hooded by Martha Feldman. Jenna Rose Loving Jacobson, Department of Romance, Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Confessing Exile, Revolution and Redemption in the Narrative of the Cuban Reencuentro. Committee, Agnes Lugo Ortiz, Mario Santana, Dane Borges, hooded by Agnes Lugo Ortiz. Alyssa Lynn Luboff, Department of Philosophy, dissertation, On the Ground, Opening a Coherent Space for the Insights of Cultural Relativism. Committee, Candace Vogler, Anabaf Vasudevan, Richard Schrader, Michael Forster, hooded by Candace Vogler. Daniel Edward Mahoney, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations, dissertation, A Political Landscape of the Dharma Plain in the Central Highlands of Yemen during the late medieval and early Ottoman periods. Committee, McGuire Gibson, Donald Whitcomb, Gil Stein, Adam Smith, Krista Ann Lewis, hooded by McGuire Gibson. Tucker William McKinney, Department of Philosophy, dissertation, Heidegger on Human Finitude and Normative Governance. Committee, Robert Pippin, Jonathan Lear, Bill Blattner, hooded by Robert Pippin. Michael Francis O'Toole, Department of Music, dissertation, Sonic Citizenship, Music, Migration and Transnationalism in Berlin, Turkish and Anatolian Diasporas. Committee, Philip V. Bowman, Bertolt Hugner, Kaylee Mason, Lars Christian Koch, hooded by Travis Jackson. Anne A. Pavnod, Department of Art History, dissertation, Locating Identity, Mixed Inscriptions and Multiple Media in Greek Art, circa 630 to 336 BCE. Committee, Richard Neer, Jonathan Hall, Yash Elsner, hooded by Richard Neer. Esther Melinda Peters, Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures, Dissertation. In the middle was the word. The writerly gestures of Nikolai Gogol, Franz Kafka, and Bohumil Chabal. Committee. Robert Burt, Maylin Sternstein, Roshena Shellcross. Hooded by Chris Kennedy. Daniel Webster Pratt, Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Aesthetics Cells, Non-Narrative Constructions of Identity in Central Europe. Committee, Maylene Sternstein, Roshena Shellcross, Thomas Pavel. Hooded by Chris Kennedy. Philip Esteban Rojas, Department of Romance Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, Hemos visto un mal tan fiero, the figure of Ganymede in the theater of the Spanish Golden Age. Committee, Frederick de Armas, Ryan Giles, Josiah Blackmore. Hooded by Frederick de Armas. Amin Azad Sadr, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Love, Death, and Submission, the role of the reader in Rumi's Masnavi. Committee, Franklin Lewis, Tahira Kutbutin, Michael Sells. Hooded by Fred Donner. Maggie Leah Taft, Department of Art History. Dissertation, Making Danish Modern, 1945-1960. Committee, Christine Mering, Deborah Nelson, Wu Hang, Darby English, Eva Lisa Pelkonen. Hooded by Christine Mering. Johanna Celia Wynant, Department of English Languages and Literatures. Dissertation, The Poetics of Explanation in Modern American Poetry. Committee, Maud Ellman, Shrikant Reddy, Oren Eisenberg, Elaine Hatley. Hooded by Maud Ellman. Pang Xiu, Department of East Asian Languages and Civilization. Dissertation, Lost Sound, Singing, Theater, and Aesthetics in Late Ming China, 1547 to 1644. Committee, Judith Zeitlin, Yu Minghu, Joseph Lamb, Reginald Jackson. Hooded by Michael Burdash. I have to. Dean Roth, I now have the honor to present for the Hoods these students who have attained scholarly distinction and have prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research in the humanities and were awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy at a convocation ceremony earlier this year. Brad Blair Bowman, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations, degree conferred winter 2014. Dissertation, The Status of Christian Monasteries in the Early Islamic Period, an examination of early Muslim attitudes towards monastic communities and its relevance to the formative period of Islam. Committee, Fred Donner, Walter Kagi, Rachel Brown. Hooded by Fred Donner. Adam Charles Hart, Department of Cinema and Media Studies. Degree conferred winter 2014. Dissertation, A Cinema of Wounded Bodies, Sensational Abjection and the Spaces of Modern Horror. Committee, Tom Gunning, James Lastra, Adam Lowenstein. Hooded by Tom Gunning. Dana Marissa Rovang, Committee on Conceptual and Historical Studies of Science. Degree conferred summer 2013. Dissertation, Conjuring Science, Performance Magicians, Natural Philosophy, and the Audience in 18th Century England, 1763 to 1800. Committee, Adrian Johns, Robert J. Richards, Sandra L. Gilman. Hooded by Judy Hoffman. Jessica Claire Seidman, Department of Classics, Classical Languages and Literatures, degree conferred summer 2013. Dissertation, Loci Memoriae, Place and Memory in Latin Literature. Committee, Peter White, Shadi Bart Zimmer, David Ray, hooded by Peter White. Randy Ling Schonkweiler, Department of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations, degree conferred winter 2014. Dissertation, De Wegdetijd, a study of Horace, the Wegdetijd of the Old Kingdom to the Conquest of Alexander. Committee, Janet Johnson, Robert Rittner, Peter Dorman, hooded by Janet Johnson. Gregory Ellis Weinstein, Department of Music, degree conferred autumn 2013. Dissertation, Creativity in the Mix, Collaboration and Contingency in Britain's Classical Music Recording Studios. Committee, Philip V. Bowman, Travis Jackson, Stephen Rings, hooded by Travis Jackson.
Didina tatunakat, kradidina tatunakat, kradidina tatunakat. Awatunga takita tunga takita dikita takita tunga.
tunga tatunakat tatunakat dha 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 teriketa takata teriketa takadidina tatunakat gradidina tatunakat gradidina tatunakat tawa tunga takita dikita takita tunga tatunakat tatunakat dha 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 teriketa takata teriketa takadidina tatunakat gradidina tatunakat gradidina tatuna o tani tum tanana dere na dere na dere dani dere dani dere dere na o tani tum tanana dere na dere na dere dani dere dani dere dere na dere dani dim dim da dere na dere dani dim dim da dere na ta ta re ta ta re ta ta re na dere dani dim dim da dere na ta ta re ta ta re ta ta re ta tum ta dere dere dani dim ta na 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 dim ta na 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 dim ta na 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 ta tum ta dere dere dani dim ta na 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 dim ta na 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 dim ta na na o dani tum ta na na dere na dere na dere da Awatunga, takita tunga, takita tikita takatuni kita tata, takita tata, takita takita. Awatunga, takita tunga, takita tikita takatuni kita tata, takita tata, takita takita. Awatunga, takita tunga, takita tikita takatuni kita tata, takita tata, takita takita. O dani tum tana na dere na dere na dere dani, dere dani, dere dere na. O dani tum tana na dere na dere na dere da.
have spent today celebrating you, the graduates of the Division of the Humanities. Completing a course of graduate studies is an important accomplishment of which you should all be proud. But we must recognize that this achievement is not yours alone. It belongs also to those who have supported you through the years. And so I'd like to ask all graduates, please rise. Please turn around and acknowledge and thank your partners, parents, children, family, and friends. Now don't sit down, turn back around and face front, please. And thank the faculty and staff of this great university for all that they have done to make you the accomplished person you are today. You may sit down. There's a third group, though, I want you to not forget. The community of your fellow graduates of the university. Here to welcome you to our alumni community is Carla Scherer, one of the university's and the humanities' most devoted volunteers, an alumna of the Master of Arts program in the humanities, and our dedicated chairwoman of the division's visiting committee.
I am honored to be among the first to congratulate you and to welcome you to our community of alumni, a community defined by a distinctive commitment to critical engagement with ideas and lifelong learning. This university, the site of your memories, successes, challenges, and discoveries, is no longer just a physical location. It is also a set of ideals that you take with you into the world. As you think about this new chapter of your life, I share with you the wisdom of our university's founder, John D. Rockefeller, expressed at Convocation in 1901. Quote, "We shall continue in the future, as in the past, to need great men and women to fill the most important positions in the commercial and professional world. The vital thing is to find the place in life where you can best serve the world." Close quotes. I hope you will reflect on your experiences in the Division of the Humanities with gratitude for how well they have prepared you to be the great men and women of Rockefeller's vision. The university is now as much your institution as it is mine, and I encourage you to remain invested in the continued success of such a special place. Thank you.
As you leave this, our 519th Convocation, some of you will continue your formal education here at the University of Chicago or elsewhere. Others will start new careers inside or outside of the academy. We, your teachers and mentors, trust that you will pursue your goals and aspirations with ambition, tempered by wisdom, with discernment, sharpened by critical reasoning, and with dedication fortified by ideals. Good luck and thank you.
This now concludes the Division of the Humanities Diploma and hooding ceremony at the 519th Convocation to the University of Chicago. We thank you for bearing witness to today's ceremony, and we welcome you to continue the festivities back across the street at Bartlett Quadrangles with a glass of champagne to celebrate all that you've accomplished. Congratulations.